This camper proves you don't need a huge motorhome to travel in real comfort. The 2026 AHORN CV630 isn't trying to be flashy or gimmicky, and that's exactly why it's interesting, because almost every decision here feels deliberate, practical, and built for people who actually travel, not just people who look at campers on Instagram. This is a full redesign, built on the brand new Renault Master, and before we even step inside, that base alone already tells you a lot. The new Master was crowned Van of the Year 2025, and that's not a marketing badge. That's recognition for safety systems, efficiency, and real-world usability. You get lane departure warning, emergency brake assist, improved aerodynamics, and a noticeably quieter drive thanks to the new Aerovan design. Less wind noise, better fuel economy, and a more relaxed long-distance driving experience, which matters when you're doing hours on highways or mountain roads. Power comes from Renault's 2.0-liter blue DCI diesel, with 130 horsepower as standard, which is more than enough for a van of this size. But if you're the type who loads heavy gear, bikes, or plans mountain routes, AHORN gives you the option to upgrade to 150 or even 170 horsepower. And for the first time, you can pair that with a 9-speed automatic transmission. This is a big deal, because it completely changes how a camper like this feels on the road. Smoother shifts, better efficiency, and far less driver fatigue compared to old-school manuals. For anyone who's driven long distances in traffic or through cities, this alone is a major upgrade. Size-wise, the CV630 sits in a very smart sweet spot. At 631 centimeters long, just over 6.3 meters, it's compact enough to stay maneuverable, easy to park compared to larger motorhomes, but still long enough to fit a genuinely comfortable interior. It's 208 centimeters wide and 260 centimeters high, which keeps it stable on the road while still offering enough headroom inside, so you never feel cramped. And with a standard permissible total mass of 3,500 kilograms, it stays within the limits most drivers can legally handle, with an optional upgrade to 4,000 kilograms if you want more payload capacity. Now let's step inside, because this is where AHORN really shows what this camper is about. The first thing you notice isn't a single feature, it's the atmosphere. The lighting, the materials, the layout, everything feels modern without being cold. LED ambient lighting runs throughout the cabin, and thanks to the Revotion smart home system, you're not just turning lights on and off, you're adjusting brightness, colors, and monitoring systems from a central display or even your smartphone. It's the kind of tech that doesn't overwhelm you, but once you've used it, you don't want to go back. The dinette area is compact but extremely well thought out. It can seat up to 4 people comfortably, which is impressive for a van in this size class. Both cockpit seats swivel, instantly turning the driving area into part of the living space. The table folds, extends, or can be removed entirely, depending on what you're doing. Eating, working, relaxing, or converting the space into an extra sleeping area, everything feels flexible rather than fixed. And that's a theme you'll notice throughout this camper. Nothing feels wasted. Sleeping arrangements are one of the strongest points of the CV630. At the rear, you get 2 proper single beds, not awkward compromises. The right bed measures 198 by 74 centimeters, and the left is 185 by 74, both fitted with ergonomic mattresses and high-quality slatted frames. These aren't just marketing terms, they actually make a difference when you're sleeping night after night. And if you want a larger sleeping surface, the beds can be combined, giving you the flexibility of either twin beds or a larger sleeping area. This setup is ideal for couples who prefer their own space, friends traveling together, or solo travelers who just want room to stretch out. Under and around the beds, storage is handled intelligently. There's a hidden clothes rail beneath the beds, so your clothes aren't just stuffed into random lockers. The garage area is generous enough for camping gear, chairs, or sports equipment, and soft closed furniture throughout the interior gives the whole van a premium, quiet feel. Nothing rattles, nothing slams shut, and on long trips, those little details matter more than people realize. The kitchen is another highlight, especially considering the size of the vehicle. You get a clean, modern kitchenette with a 2-burner gas stove that's perfectly adequate for real cooking, not just reheating food. The standout feature here is the Dometic 70-liter compressor refrigerator. It opens from both sides, meaning you can access it from inside the van or directly from the sliding door when you're outside. This sounds like a small thing, but in daily use, it's incredibly convenient, especially when you're cooking outdoors or grabbing a drink without stepping fully inside. Storage in the kitchen is practical, with well-sized drawers and cabinets that actually hold what you need. Worktop space is managed efficiently, and everything feels designed to be used, not just looked at. This is not a show van, it's a travel van. Moving to the bathroom, you'll find a compact wet room that makes excellent use of limited space. There's a cassette toilet, an integrated shower, and everything is arranged so you can actually shower without feeling completely boxed in. It's functional, easy to clean, and exactly what you want in a camper van of this class. And if you opt for the comfort pack, you even get a wooden shower tray, which adds both comfort and a touch of luxury. Heating and water systems are solid and proven. The standard Truma Combi C4 gas heater provides both space heating and hot water, delivering 4 kilowatts of power, which is more than sufficient for most conditions. Fresh water capacity sits at 100 liters with an 80-liter wastewater tank, giving you a good balance between autonomy and weight. For those planning colder adventures, the winter pack is a serious upgrade, switching to a Truma Combi 6E with gas and electric operation, and adding a heated wastewater tank. That turns this camper from a summer traveler into something you can confidently use in colder climates. Electric power is handled by a 95 Ah AGM body battery as standard, with options to expand through the comfort pack, which adds a charging booster, extra 230-volt sockets in the kitchen and garage, and preparations for solar panels or satellite systems. This means the CV630 is ready to be customized for off-grid travel without complicated aftermarket work. Technology and entertainment are clearly part of AHORN's vision for this model. The optional multimedia pack brings in a 10-inch OpenR Link touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, along with a rear-view camera. This isn't just about convenience. In a vehicle this size, a good camera system makes parking and maneuvering significantly easier. On top of that, a 22-inch smart TV with Wi-Fi and a swivel mount allows you to watch from either the dinette or the rear beds. Whether you use it every night or only occasionally, it's there when you want it. One thing that's important to clarify is the Canadian name often associated with this model. Despite what the name might suggest, this camper is not built in Canada and is not specifically designed for the North American market. It's produced in Italy in cooperation with the Erwin-Heimer Group and primarily sold across Europe. The Canadian label is more of a legacy naming convention within AHORN's lineup rather than an indicator of origin or market focus. As of now, there's no confirmed availability in the US or Canada, and pricing starts around €54,500 in Germany, depending on options and packages. Early reviews have been very positive, with many calling the CV630 a potential game-changer in its segment. Reviewers consistently praise the build quality, smart layout, and the way AHORN has integrated modern technology without overcomplicating the user experience. Features like the fly-screen door, generous storage, and the balance between comfort and drivability are often highlighted as things that make this camper stand out. What really defines the 2026 AHORN CV630 is balance. It's not trying to be the biggest, the cheapest, or the most extreme camper van on the market. Instead, it focuses on doing everything well. It drives comfortably, it lives comfortably, and it adapts to different travel styles without forcing you into compromises. For solo travelers, couples, or small groups of up to 3 people, it offers enough space to feel relaxed while still being easy to handle on the road. This is the kind of camper that makes sense for long journeys, spontaneous weekend trips, and everything in between. It doesn't rely on hype. It relies on thoughtful engineering and real-world usability. And in a market crowded with over-designed or underbuilt vans, that's exactly why the AHORN CV630 deserves attention. So if you're looking for a camper that's easy to drive, smartly designed, and actually comfortable to live in, the 2026 AHORN CV630 is definitely worth keeping on your radar. Let me know what you think about this layout, and I'll see you in the next one.